Good morning. It is a beautiful sunny day here in Maine. I hope you can see the harbor behind me. It is a really cool place. So today I won't be cooking, but we're going to talk about food, of course. So my friend Stephanie, who actually dressed me today, so crew fashion, yay, thank you. I hate shop. So Stephanie is my girl, but we're going to talk about honey, using honey as a sweetener. I'll touch on a few other sweeteners, and we're going to talk about mineral salt, the benefits of mineral salt, and my amazing find here from a great couple. It is called Moon Brew coffee. It is a Maine original. Met this couple at the Lobster Festival yesterday. Got to try the mushroom coffee that they created. And I will tell you, it is delicious. If you guys know me, this has been one of the things we talk about. I get asked about it all the time. I hate mushrooms. And so many of these mushroom coffees taste really earthy and just aren't a good, not my jam. Like, yes, they're healthy, I get it, but if you don't enjoy it, don't take the joy out of my life. I love my coffee. So, my workaround for that coffee was always drinking it with collagen and butter, grass-fed butter, and coconut. So that science, as I talked about before, is that you get the ketones from the healthy fat and you get the collagen, the protein from the collagen. That slows down the cortisol surge and makes it a little more beneficial, less taxing, not less stressful. The ketones feed the brain and the collagen helps kind of feed everything else. So that was my workaround, and it's great. But this mushroom coffee, absolutely delicious. It is called Moon Brew. I shared a picture of it yesterday. I will share the link in the comments in a bit. But what mushroom coffee does is it calms the cortisol surge from the caffeine. So there's not as much caffeine in mushroom coffee as there is traditional coffee. So you don't have the jitters, the blood sugar crashes, the anxiety, the hormone dysregulation. And if caffeine affects you, you're not up all night jonesing or buzzing from your caffeine. So the Moon Brew mushroom coffee has adaptogenic mushrooms. It has lion's mane, reishi. It has cordyceps, which help support natural energy and endurance. It has chaga, which is an immune regulator and an antioxidant. It's a powerhouse. So because it has the lower caffeine content, it buffers the stress reaction. Then you're not having that blood sugar surge from the cortisol, more of an insulin issue. And it supports calmness and focus because of the fantastic mushrooms and adaptogens. They just support brain health, especially the lion's mane mushrooms. So I'm so excited to work. We may be doing some collaboration. So I'm just excited to have found this coffee because it's delicious. Definitely will be part of my daily routine. Now let's talk about honey. Okay, because that one of my big pet peeves is the whole "a little knowledge is dangerous" kind of thing. Add to that, just because something is healthy doesn't mean you can have free reign and eat it, drink it all the time, and it doesn't have any effect on you. So honey is still a sugar. Now, when we look at sugars, they all have a different level of rising glycemic index. That's what we're talking about. So honey has a lower rating on the glycemic index than white sugar. However, if you are insulin resistant or have PCOS or diabetes or anything like that, it is still a sugar, and it will increase and crash just like sugar. Again, a tiny bit lower, so instead of like high, low, you might have like high-ish and then a crash. Our goal is to not have a crash. Our goal is to have that tiny blip on the radar and not the big high dip. So that's what we're looking for. So honey, a little bit better. Now, again, looking at good, better, best scenario, when we're talking honey, we want raw, natural honey. That is where all the benefits are. You get a raw local honey, you are getting allergy benefits, local allergies. So that kind of helps. It's rich in antioxidants and enzymes and trace minerals. Can help with the seasonal allergies because if it's sourced locally, you have the benefit of that the allergens in the area and the antimicrobials and all of that stuff in the honey. So less processed, the better. Local, even better. If you're getting it just from the store and it's processed and not raw or, just unfiltered, you're not getting any kind of health benefits because they're stripping it all. When they filter it, they're stripping it all. They heat it up and you're basically just getting sugar syrup. So, as close to raw as possible. The less processed, of course, the better. Now, the star of the honey world is Manuka honey. This is used a lot and touted as, the gut healer. We use it a lot in functional medicine. Now, Manuka honey is from New Zealand, one of them. It contains something called MGO, which is methyl glyoxal. This gives it major antibacterial, antifungal, and even wound healing benefits. So it's used a lot or sold and marketed to people with SIBO, which is a small intestinal bowel bacterial overgrowth. Then leaky gut repair and immune resilience. Again, it's honey. So use it cautiously. It's not the cure-all for anything, but in the honey world, the Manuka honey has the absolute best antibacterial benefits. Now, there also, you can look at a rating, a UMF or that MGO rating. The higher the number, the more potent it is, the more antibacterial it is. So you can even look that up, which is pretty cool. Now let's talk salt. Mineral salt, pink salt, gray salt. So here's the rundown. Natural salt is full of natural minerals. Think selenium. Sodium, of course, all salt is sodium, but salt is not the bad guy. Highly processed commercial salts are the bad guy. When salts are processed, they strip out all the minerals. So, and they add additives, anti-caking agents, synthetic iodine. Remember, our bodies do not like synthetic vitamins. This is where quality always matters, and down to the smallest thing like salt, right? It's kind of crazy. So we've got the Himalayan pink salt, which has 80 trace minerals. 80. It's pretty widely available, especially nowadays. Now there's some talk, of course, there's quality. The more pink, so of course the more expensive it is. What happens is they get a lot of these mineral salts from the outside of the source of the salt block itself, and it's more easily accessible, but doesn't necessarily have the high amount of minerals. So you absolutely want to get the highest quality mineral salt that you can. French gray salt, which it's moist. This is my problem with it. You can't really put it in a grinder. You have to use it straight from the crock or from the barrel or whatever, but it's moist because they get it from the sea. It's delicious. You can use it as a finishing salt, add it to whatever. It is harvested from clay beds, which is why it's so moist. Now, the next one is Redmond real salt that I have investigated. And it's a little sunny out here. My eyes are watering. So the Redmond sea salt is sourced from ancient seabeds in Utah, naturally rich in magnesium, potassium, and calcium. And most of these sea salts, those are what they're mineral rich in. So these mineral salts support hydration and electrolyte balance. Great for thyroid health and adrenal health. And these mineral salts actually help your body absorb water at the cellular level, which is why if you have heard that instead of using an electrolyte mix, you just put some natural mineral or sea salt in your water, and it helps the exchange of fluid and helps your cells, the fluid, become intracellular instead of extracellular. That is where true cellular hydration happens. So it also is naturally alkalizing, and it supports your digestion. So first thing in the morning, if you're one of those people who get up and drink your water, throw in some sea salt and a little bit of lemon. It will help so much. It also there are some protocols that that use these natural mineral salts to lower blood pressure. So just like healthy fats are not the enemy when it comes to lowering your cholesterol, it's much more complicated than that. Salt and decreasing your salt intake and a low sodium diet does very little to lower your blood pressure. Getting rid of the garbage from the fake salt, that fake salt is what drives up your blood pressure. So again, it's always a little more complicated than just don't use salt. Use the right salt, and that will give you so many more benefits. Everything moderation. When using honey, try to always use raw, local honey. You'll get the most benefits. Add into this, I'm going to mention molasses. Molasses is mineral rich, including some iron. So, and it's super sweet. So if you're looking to use a natural sweetener, then a little molasses goes a long way. So if you want that yummy, like brown sugary flavor, go with a little bit of blackstrap molasses. Again, totally natural. The less processed, the better. You all know my favorite sweetener is allulose. So that's a naturally derived sugar or naturally derived sweetener that has zero impact on your insulin. So little amounts, if you need a little sweetener, you can use honey. I'd say if a recipe calls for a couple of tablespoons, less than a quarter of a cup of honey or maple syrup as a sweetener, and you're using these snacks in moderation, absolutely fine. But if you're trying to make like a cookie recipe or muffins or anything that's going to require more sweetener, then swap out the sugar in the recipe for allulose. All right, well, I'm having a great trip. I will see you all Monday back in Ohio. Take care.